COVID-19 has been taking over headlines for most of 2020, but another virus could cause some big problems as we head into the colder months of the year. Coming up, find out how one campus department helps students stay healthy during a special event.
Early voting is officially underway in Texas, and you now have the chance to make your voice heard before the November elections. We'll let you know where you can cast your ballot here on campus next.
And the Texas Tech football team may not be playing this weekend, but that doesn't mean the team isn't still making news. We'll let you know about one important change that might help the Red Raiders bring home a victory on homecoming weekend.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Patricia Perry.
And I'm Elizabeth Martinez.
Over the last 3 weeks, Texas Tech administrators, in coordination with the Student Government Association, have been polling the university community about the possible end to in-person instruction before Thanksgiving. And earlier this week, a final decision was announced through a university-wide email. On Tuesday morning, President Lawrence Skuvanek sent out a message to students, faculty, and staff that all in-person class meetings will not continue after the Thanksgiving break. Those meetings will transition to online instruction for the 3 remaining class days on November 30th through December 2nd, and all final exams will also be made available online. The university will continue to follow the fall schedule, including the day of no classes on December 3rd. Finals will start on Friday, December 4th, and continue through Wednesday, December 9th. December 9th will also mark the final day of the fall 2020 semester. President Skuvanek's email goes on to state that even though there will be no class meetings, the Tech campus will stay open through the remainder of the semester. Students will still have access to campus resources such as the residence halls and dining options, as well as the library, studios, labs, and instructional facilities and equipment. Student employees will also be allowed to work their normal schedule until the end of the semester. Campus facilities will close to student access on Thursday, December 10th. The only exception is with the residence halls, which will remain open for fall graduates through Saturday, December 12th. But as of today, the university has not announced if the December commencement ceremonies will be held in person or online. Tuesday's email concludes by stating that classes will resume for spring 2021 on January 13th, and the university plans to continue to use face-to-face, online, and hybrid options through next May.
The decision to end in-person class meetings is being made in hopes of helping to limit the spread of COVID-19 in Lubbock and the campus community. But there's also another step you can take to help avoid another pandemic from breaking out while the coronavirus threat continues. Early this morning, Student Health Services and TTU operations set up a temporary flu vaccine clinic in Urbanovsky Park. Starting at 8 a.m., staff from the Student Wellness Center began giving vaccinations to any student who had pre-registered online. Full walk-ups were also welcome. No upfront cost was required for the shot, but students were required to fill out a form to be filled with their insurance. Flu shots are being strongly encouraged this year due to the ongoing concerns of COVID-19.
This year it's especially important because COVID and the flu are going to be overlapping. So really anything you can do to prevent one or both of those things is extra important so you don't get both at the same time. That could be very dangerous.
Today's pop-up flu vaccine clinic closes at 5 p.m. this afternoon, but students still have the option of getting a flu shot anytime during the semester at the Student Wellness Center. To schedule an appointment for a flu vaccine at the Student Wellness Center, call 743-2848 for more information.
The 2020 presidential election has been making headlines for months, with many people eager to cast their ballot for the next leader of the United States. If you've been patiently waiting to get to the polls, you now have the opportunity to make your voice heard. Early voting in the state of Texas officially started on Tuesday. Around Lubbock, most polling locations opened at 8 a.m., including right here on the Tech campus. The Robert H. E. Waltz Student Recreation Center serves as the only on-campus early voting location. The polling station is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 1 to 6 p.m. on Sundays. Masks are required inside the rec, but anyone is allowed to vote at the on-campus location. The entrance to the voting station can be found just inside the south entrance of the main floor of the rec center. Early voting continues from now through Friday, October 30th. Anyone registered to vote can cast their ballot early as long as they have an official photo ID. If you are unable to get to a polling location before October 30th, you can also vote in the general election on Tuesday, November 3rd. For a full list of voting locations in Lubbock, visit votelubbock.org.
Pride Week 2020 officially wrapped up last Friday here on the Tech campus. The week-long set of events included more than a dozen opportunities to recognize and celebrate Tech's LGBT+ community. Last Thursday, the Office of LGBTQIA Education and Engagement held a special event in observance of International Lesbian Day. From 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., representatives were available at a tent in the Sub-North Plaza to hand out free swag and talk to students about Pride Week. The event was also a chance to let members of Tech's LGBT+ community know that they are seen and accepted.
Basically just trying to give back to people and celebrate them. And yeah, that's basically it. We're trying to inform people about the rest of the events going on this week for our Pride Week. And yeah, we're just coming out here, making sure people know they're loved and appreciated.
International Lesbian Day is a relatively new event in the United States, but it was first celebrated in New Zealand in the 1980s. Tech's observance of International Lesbian Day continued on Thursday with 2 virtual events. Allyship is not an identity, it's a practice on Thursday afternoon, and the annual Coming Out Stories event on Thursday night.
Strong winds hit the South Plains area yesterday morning, and they haven't stopped yet. Those winds also brought in some cooler temperatures, bringing a taste of fall back to the Tech campus. But will these conditions last as we head into the 3rd weekend of October? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in the studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Patricia. Well, you are correct. Along with all that gusty wind that has come in overnight, cooler temperatures have been brought in by such gusty wind. Looking outside at our MCTV tower cam right now, we can see that it is a little breezy outside, but the skies are clear. We don't currently have any rain in our near forecast, which I know we're in the middle of a drought right now, and that's a little bit disappointing, but at least we have some cooler fall weather to look forward to over the next couple days. For today, our high temperature climbed up to 69 degrees, breezy out there like I said, sunny and mild conditions with a wind coming from the northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For this evening, the wind is going to start to dissipate a little bit, coming from the east at only 10 to 15 miles per hour, which is still relatively breezy, but a lot more manageable than the 25 mile per hour wind gust we've experienced today. The temperature is going to drop back down to 40, and the conditions should be clear and cool as we move into this evening. Now, looking at the South Plains as a whole, we can see that everywhere is going to be experiencing a relative cold snap for this evening. Out there by Muleshoe is where we're going to be experiencing our coolest temperatures on the South Plains, and it's actually going to get right up there at 32, right at that freezing line, so you should definitely look forward to some cooler temperatures coming into this evening. Well, looking into tomorrow, we can see our high temperature is going to climb up a little bit higher than it is today. Lubbock sitting at a fairly normal temperature for this time of year at 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course, it's always a little bit warmer out there to the east of us. But for Friday night, we should be seeing another drop in temperatures. Not quite as cool as Thursday night, but we can see across the South Plains, we're going to be experiencing temperatures in around the mid to lower 40s. Bringing it back into Lubbock locally, we can see that for Friday, we're going to be experiencing a high of 70 degrees, a low of 49, and a southeasterly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour with sunny skies, so very similar to what we were experiencing today. And then for Saturday, the wind is back in full force, coming from the southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour, but some warmer temperatures for Saturday, with a high of 91 degrees and a low of 49. And then for Sunday is when we're going to be seeing some cooler temperatures and some breezy conditions out there. For Sunday, a high of 71 degrees, a low of 42, and a northerly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And of course, the wind always makes things feel a little bit colder due to that wind chill, so definitely plan on wearing a sweater if you're going out on Sunday. For MCTV Weather, I'm Madison Hartin. Back to you, Patricia.
Thanks, Madison. Tech Athletics is gearing up for another weekend of sports action with one team returning home for their next matchup. First up, the Red Raider volleyball team will take the floor at the United Supermarkets Arena as they welcome the number 2 ranked Baylor Bears to town. Tech is sitting at 3-3, and the team is currently 3 games out from first place in conference. A series sweep against Baylor could put the Red Raiders into second place and set them up for a huge showdown against Texas next week in Austin. This week's 2-night matchup starts tomorrow night at 6 p.m., followed by Game 2 on Saturday, also at 6. You can catch the action both nights on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. And also tomorrow night, the Texas Tech soccer team takes on ranked competition as they meet up with TCU in Fort Worth. Tech soccer is currently looking for their first win of the season after 2 losses and 2 ties in their first 4 games. The Red Raiders are currently in 5th place in the Big 12, but they are 4 points out from a 3-way tie for 4th place between Baylor, Iowa State, and Texas. Meanwhile, the Horned Frogs are sitting in 2nd place with only 1 loss this season. Tech versus TCU is set for 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and TV coverage will be available through ESPN+.
One team that won't be seeing any action this weekend is Red Raider football. Tech is currently their second bye week of the season, but that doesn't mean the team isn't making local headlines. Yesterday afternoon, head coach Matt Wells announced that junior Henry Columbi will be starting at quarterback next weekend against West Virginia. Columbia will take the place of former starter Alan Bowman, who only racked up 97 yards, passing in last Saturday's loss at Iowa State. Columbia has served as Bowman's backup, completing 40 of 54 for 359 yards in less than 4 quarters of play.
This past week against Iowa State, and then the 3 plus quarters that he played at Kansas State, I thought he was aggressive. I think he kind of jump-started the offense. Like I've said before, he started a little slow at Kansas State. Once he started getting through his progressions, I think guys around him responded. We moved the ball better. And I thought he came in the last couple series and tried to rally us back and did a nice job with the offense, pulled the ball down and scrambled a little bit and moved it.
Columbia's first career start at Texas Tech comes next Saturday as the university celebrates homecoming. Kickoff for the annual homecoming game is set for 4:30 p.m. and tickets are still available. But if you can't get into the Jones next weekend, you can catch the game on ESPN too.
Since August, life on the Texas Tech campus has returned to somewhat normal, even as the COVID-19 pandemic continues. But even though we're almost 2 months into the semester, there's a few parts of the university system that are just now opening their doors to the public. Texas Tech's National Ranching Heritage Center officially reopened yesterday morning at 10 a.m. The museum facility has been closed to the public since March, when Texas Tech began restricting access to campus to limit the spread of COVID-19. Since then, the NHRC has continued to maintain behind-the-scenes operations, which includes academic research and the upkeep and restoration of the facility's 40-plus historical structures. The 19-acre facility is now welcoming back visitors to learn about the history of one of the most important industries in the West Texas region.
The main story that we get to tell here at the Ranching Heritage Center is really the story of ranching and how it's developed as both an industry and a lifestyle over the past 200 years. And the cowboy hat and the story of ranching really resonates with people from Dallas to Beijing.
The National Ranching Heritage Center is one of 3 museum facilities controlled by Texas Tech that are opening up over the next week. Along with the NHRC, the Lubbock Lake Landmark also opened yesterday, and the Museum of Texas Tech will reopen next Thursday. For more information on the National Ranching Heritage Center, you can visit the website listed on your screen.
So, Patricia, do you think you might stop by one of Tech's museums now that they're back open?
Well, I've never had a chance to do so I'll have to check it out. What about you?
Yeah, no, same here. Haven't had a chance to go either, but it might make a stop too. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.